behind the velvet rope. I've been to LA and left for 48 hours and she wasn't even there to see me, but we're here with the one and only Sarah Frasia.
Hi, David Yontef. I can't believe that you were in my town, honey. I wasn't there. You know, I've been traveling to Maine, traveling to Northern Michigan. People either love that I go to Northern Michigan or somebody commented on my Instagram and they go, LOL, I'm still stuck on you saying that your vacation was in Northern Michigan. Like,
A
okay.
snob. Oh my gosh.
And where do you vacation, honey? Not all of us have a place in the Hamptons, like our guy here, Mr. Yontef.
Listen, I accept everyone. I don't judge based on where people vacation. Why don't you stop by and see Mr. Goldbrinson, Luke from Summer House? He's into himself these days.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Riding around on that motorcycle, selling that lager, whatever it is.
I'll go to it. Okay, we have so much to get to. I mean,
I don't even. Okay, would you want to start? Because you and I have not talked about, the Kyle Army is out in full force. Guess what, guys? I have opinions. You don't like them, fuck off. The Kyle Army is out. Let's talk about Kyle and Mauricio. Guys, we're going to talk about it. So everyone who says fake news, since when is it fake news? We're listening to what Kyle says. Kyle is all over the place on this one. But before I talk, I want to hear your thoughts on Kyle and Mauricio.
Well, here's what I will say. When People Magazine is known to get the story completely right, they will not engage in the trash that you see from all these other blogs that we like, or the Daily Fail, which, you know, we've both been in the Daily Mail, aka the Daily Fail. And, you know, they don't do a lot of background checking. Okay. That's like a known thing. All right. But People has always kept themselves to a higher standard. Most of the times the stories come from the celebrities themselves. So I'm going to say this: when People dropped that nugget a couple of weeks ago that Kyle and Mauricio were separating after 27 years of marriage, that came from a very, very, very credible source. I mean, that was, don't you think? I mean, wasn't that like from Kyle or Mauricio or the kids or Kathy Hilton? Or, I mean, that was from somebody very, very inside.
I agree. Now, Dave Quinn, who dropped that article, I have nothing good to say about him, and nothing. So I'm going to not say anything because I have no respect for that gentleman. Okay. However, I've been saying this the whole time while you were on your vacation in Michigan, which apparently people don't approve of. If it's in People, it's like, look, it's not out of nowhere. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Very few divorces shock me in the public eye. Am I shocked that Joe and Sophia are breaking up? I can't.
Oh, no, I'm not shocked at all about that.
It's like when Allison Dubois was just on my show, The Medium, and she saw things. I said, do you want to know what would shock me? Kenneth and Lisa Vanderpump. If you're going to tell me they're going to break up, I will actually be shocked. At that time, Tom and Erica Girardi shocked me, not in retrospect. Ken and Lisa. If Ken, I no age shaming, is Ken 80? I mean, he adores Lisa. Like, they're not, that would shock me to the core. Ricky Martin and his husband, nah, I'm not that shocked, okay? Like, I'm not that shocked. There have been, and anyone, just like with Team Teresa and Team Melissa, and everyone's in denial. They say Teresa's never going to be fired. There it is. Kyle, it's where there's smoke, there's fire. People Magazine did not wake up and decide to just run this story because they were bored. Also, I think anyone saying that this is a storyline is insane. When Crystal Kung made something up and maybe she needed a storyline, sure. Does Margaret Josephs need a storyline next season if she's back on Real Housewives of New Jersey? Sure. Kyle does not need a storyline. I will stand by the fact that she's the second. You've really got me riled up here right from the start. She's the second most. She's clapping. She loves when I'm riled up. She's the second most protected housewife, I feel, at the current time. Kyle is not getting fired, so she does not need a storyline. She moves the thing along. She's fine. Also, we're not forgetting, unlike David here, who I don't give a fuck. You could say anything about me. Kyle cares. She really does care what her public image is. She does. She truly cares. And that's not such a bad thing. Maybe I should take a lesson from Kyle and care. I'm more like the Erica Jane school of thought. Erica doesn't give a fuck. You can all talk about her all day. She ain't checking your comments.
I love you, and
I love Miss Jane too now. So like, you know, Kyle cares. So for this to even seep out there and for her to make statements, you know, look, I mean, separated and divorced are two separate things. Sure, you can protest all day that it's been a hard year, which I respect, and we're not getting divorced. You don't know that. You don't know that. I'm not wishing that upon them, but Kyle and Mauricio might get divorced. Also, there are these things that are out there for years and years. Allison brought this up on my show. I go on other podcasts. One of the questions I'm always asked are, Kyle and Mauricio, do you believe I mean, there's these things out there about Mauricio that that it's an open marriage. He's been with men and women. I don't even know if I believe the men part. Well,
I never heard
there's these rumors. Someone spoke out years ago. It was, I believe, a prostitute who is a trans woman who has not fully gone through the transition, so has male genitalia. That is out there. Go and Google it. It's Googleable. It was like, I think it was in the Sun. Talk about publications that are not people. But I'm just saying, these rumors have been out there forever. I've never really bought into them, but now it's like, you got to just give into it, right? Like, look, there's also Kyle and Morgan Wade. I think that Kyle conveniently releasing a statement that she's 1 year sober when all this is going on. So now she's feeding into, yeah, this is just my sober coach. I don't know about that. So everyone could say fake news all day, just like New Jersey contracts went out to everyone. And at least as of the recording of this episode, which everyone's going to hear a week later, maybe it'll change. Contracts have not gone out. Now everyone's starting to say, oh my God, you were right. So fake news, I mean, just because Kyle is saying sober and trying to tie that into Morgan and this, and they're posting selfies together, her and Mauricio. I just think where there is smoke, there is fire. This is obviously not a perfect marriage for us to get to this point with this stuff out there. So I don't know, people, open your eyes.
So, okay. So, you know, Mauricio has admitted this past year has been extremely rough for them. So what do you think? I mean, do you think Kyle getting sober, like, it's never one thing, right? It's always, the only other marriage that like shocked me recently was Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen, because I like loved them together. I felt like they were sort of above it all. They were very sophisticated and evolved. And it was really sad for me to see them split. So what do you, but Gisele has then since done an interview and basically said for years, right? For years, she wanted him to retire. He never would. You know, he loves football more than anything, right? Which obviously led to their divorce. What do you think it is then between these two? Do you have any inside scoop? Like, I mean, is it their work-life balance? Is it now is she gay? I mean, I don't know. You know, what's the story?
I mean, listen, I think that by